Hi, I'm Mr. Drysdale, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own carbonation cap. Very easy to do. A few parts from the auto parts store and either a 2-liter or 1-liter PET bottle and a drill. I'm going to show you the equipment here in a minute, and I'm going to show you how to make your own carbonation cap that you can use anytime to carbonate small amounts of beer or cider without having to worry about bottling. You want to do something quick. It also keeps beer fresh by keeping it in a 2-liter bottle to take to parties and things like that. Here are some of the tools you're going to need. You're going to obviously need a drill. It's a good idea to have a some kind of a punch like an ice pick, and of course you need one of these small screw-in valve stems that you can get at any auto parts store in the tire section. You can get 2 of them for about $4. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put a hole in the center of the cap. It's going to make it a lot easier to drill a good hole through the center of it. Now that we've got a small hole in our cap, what I've done is taken a 7/16 drill bit, but you could use a 3/8 or you could go as high as 1/2 inch, but somewhere around that that size drill bit will work the best for with these type of valve stems. As you can see, I've drilled a nice little hole inside of it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little X-Acto knife or a razor blade just to kind of clean it up just a little bit. There's a little bit of shavings around the edge of the hole, and obviously we don't want those in our beer, so we're going to clean that up a little bit. Now that we've got the hole cleaned up pretty well, we're going to take apart our valve stem. It has a nut on the top, and then a nice little chrome washer, and then the larger seal, which is a rubber seal, and then the valve stem itself and a seal at the bottom. What we want to do is obviously place the valve stem through the cap, and now that you've drilled a hole in it, it fits pretty snug. And then we want to put our seal on top like that. Don't worry about it fitting perfect right off the bat. And then we're going to put the washer on top like that, and then the nut on top of that, and tighten it up. It's probably a good idea to get a nice wrench out and tighten it all the way so you make sure you have a good tight seal. This particular valve stem is a 9/16 nut on top of it, and what I do is I just tighten it up by hand until I get a good seal, and you'll feel that seal pushing down on top of there. And just like that, you're ready. Now you got your valve stem ready, and I'm just using a 2-liter, or excuse me, a 1-liter Pepsi bottle for demonstration, but it'll fit on any PET bottle just like that, and you're ready to go. Now let's take a look at how we're going to build the air chuck to go on our CO2 tank. Now really all you need is a couple of things. You can buy a cheap air chuck. It'll be in the same section at the auto parts store that you bought the valve stem seals. I think this one cost me somewhere around $2.50. Any Lowe's or Home Depot will have a 1/4 inch pipe fitting with a nipple on the end of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a little Teflon tape and basically just put it together. Now that I've got the tape on the Teflon tape on the nipple, I'm going to attach it to the air chuck just like that. And you can tighten it up with a wrench if you want to get it a little bit tighter, and it works fine. What I've done here is basically removed the nut off of my CO2 tank, the connector off the CO2 tank. This is normally what goes on the quick disconnect fitting such as this, and it was in this hose. Now yours may be permanently mounted on there. You may have to modify it a little bit, or you can find an adapter. I believe it's an A80 adapter at Lowe's or Home Depot that will fit between this air chuck and this connector on your CO2 tank. Basically what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, excuse me, I did the wrong one there. I'm going to attach that to it, and of course tighten it down. And I've got my CO2 ready to go. I've got my tank down here, you can see. And here I've got CO2 going. I've cranked my CO2 pressure up a little higher so we can have a little bit more pressure on the end of it. But we have our Pepsi bottle and we're ready to go. And if we had beer or whatever inside there we wanted to carbonate, all we'd have to do is fill it up. And you can see it holds pressure very well. And that's all there is to it.